Fifth?
Yeah.
I feel better about it today. We went through it all and explanation, because it is hard. I mean, if there is no guide
Well-
to go off of, students show up every day late. If they.
Right, no, I get, I'm
They can
proud
get
of that.
away with
What I did
10
have,
minute late, 15-minute late, whatever it is, that's when they're gonna show up.
right, what I did have a problem with is them just getting locked out if they were a minute late, like, you still
Right.
gotta go.
Right.
You can't just lock them out.
Yeah, I don't know what, they didn't say there, that lock them out.
No, but that's what happened last year.
Oh,
Who's no longer here anymore, but I'm just like,
oh.
yeah, I mean, the study table's just been nothing but a nightmare for the last few
Yeah, and,
years.
and that's kind of what we talked about, is it was actually too much, I mean, not enough accountability for years, where it was just almost blowing off, like, okay, it was kind of there wasn't any accountability. Now there's some accountability, and at the end of last year, they were actually using this as their guide to try to help them, and it was working. So
Right.
I'm confident with the changes, and the subjectiveness is still there, that, hey, there are situations that come up that, or like the improvement one, where it said, if you don't show improvement in 2 weeks, then you'll be deemed ineligible. So if you've got
You're
You
still
got a 50
eligible by state standards, you're eligible. It's just by school standards, we're saying you're not.
and we could do that too. I mean, if we want to go really just to, hey, you passed 4 classes, you're eligible.
No, I like study. I like the whole idea of it.
Yeah.
I like
Hello.
that it helps kids.
Yeah.
It helps them maintain or helps them improve.
All
But to give punishment for
right.
not improving, maybe some kids just aren't improving.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about today too. So the subjectiveness is, okay, so if you're not improving, and that happened last year, they talked about a specific student that said in softball where they weren't, but then they went and checked with the teacher and the counselor and found out, yeah, they're doing everything they
They
can.
can, yeah.
Yeah, but so that's the subjectiveness that I wanted in there, and the safeguard that I felt better. As long as that's in there, and
I know you tried to implement it last year, but I think there was a lot of pushback because it wasn't anything.
right,
Yeah, so people, everyone was, we can push kids there and they can go there, but
and I think we talked about the message was a little toned a little strong at the meeting, and we talked about that. And we agreed that was probably not the best approach, but I get why. I get why.
Mr. Workshop.
To try to motivate students to do what they need to do.
Where?
But
hello, Mary.
Oh, back there. Okay.
anyway, yeah, so we spent some time on that today.
Get to it before Jackie.
Right, under Russell. Here I come.
It's
It's a huge problem. I've lost it 3 times. We haven't even had it a year yet.
So,
Yeah, that's what for the Hyundai that we bought. Huge. So, yeah. We should freaking levitate, right? So.
Mr. Nesper, when they gonna look at your truck? Do they have a date?
Next week, hopefully. I think he put next Thursday in there. It's in the lot, so if we get time soon.
Yeah.
He's definitely doing good. Oh, it's feels pretty good in here. Pretty good.
Could be better.
How you doing?
It might be a little too soon, but on behalf of all the guys that have been waiting to work all summer, I wanted to tell Sean and Riley, thank you.
You can't tell Sean that.
Pizza.
He's not doing anything.
Pizza and soda behind you.
Is he not doing it? He's not doing
He's got to be certified because of colorblind.
it? Oh, they did go with that?
Yep.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah.
Right? Wow.
So we're just kind of waiting and see.
Do they have that many signs on the tracks that are color coded?
Red, blue, and red, yellow, and green. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Wow.
So,
That's-
but the problem is, it's him and his three brothers that also work for Rail Link also have a similar issue.
Uh-huh.
So,
Once they find out that.
well, once the other three, brother Adam has to redo his sometime next year, and Tim and Chad will be like the year after that. So, Sean was the first one that did it this year with Ian. So yeah, so we'll see what.
You're gonna get a comfy seat over in the corner to start.
You don't fit in that one.
You know, look at, just you move the arms out. Feet,
Yeah, see? You can't fit in the chair.
too advanced.
You guys make me nervous.
What if you can't? It's 6:01.
Yeah.
Let's roll.
Let's roll. Boss, you got it? Just note where Peter's sitting.
Got started.
Yeah, go for it.
Pledge allegiance to the flag.
flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, new business number 1, annual district goals.
All right, so we are in the final year of our 5-year plan. So at the end of this year, at this time next year, we'll be writing new goals for a new 5-year cycle. So the heading for each one won't change. I mean, they're all part of our statement of intended outcomes for our 5-year plan for our annual goals. So going through all this, I'll just kind of go through quickly each one of these and let me know. Hopefully everybody's had time to look through them. If there's anything we want to add, delete, change, we can do that at this time. And like I said, we'll try to move through here as quickly as we can. So academic recovery, attendance, school goals, looking at ACT scores. I made everybody a hard copy, so everybody should have a hard copy in front of you that the graph didn't copy to the presentation in Google Docs, but not Google Docs, the new Diligent. So ACTs since 17-18, 19.6, we're now down to 16.1 for our average, our ACT scores. Adam pointed out kids that, since COVID, the freshmen were in 3rd grade. So at some point, we need to, we can't blame COVID forever, and we need to start turning things around academically. We'd like to set that goal, our long-term average composite of 19. So working our way back to the 19 average is the goal. And obviously all proficiency. Math doesn't really give us a proficiency level for each grade yet. It will eventually, but right now we just sort of have what standards we're proficient. We're going to be working on curriculum alignment on Thursday. Attendance goals, still 94%. Discipline referrals dropped by 20%. That'll put elementary either maintain or improve. They were below 40 this year. So, I mean, anytime you can go below 40 with discipline referrals in a year, that's outstanding. Middle school is an area, 108, goal of 86. High school total, they were at 40, so they just need to maintain or improve. So elementary and high school, outstanding. Continue, 40 or less, that's great. Dropout reduction, obviously the goal for dropouts is 0. Continue with our early literacy. I changed that to 70% instead of 80% on the STAR, since we don't really necessarily have math. For 70% by 3rd grade, proficient in reading on the STAR assessment, using summer school, curriculum enhancement, curriculum alignment. for those students in the 3rd grade or below. Academic achievement, proficiency targets, ELA, across the board improved by 10%, closing the gap. Our goal would be to be proficient with the state average, just like in the past, we were consistently, proficient. Our proficiency levels were consistent with the state average, and that's a great target for us. Continue our CTE programs. We'll continue to measure and document academic achievement. Continue to support our extracurriculars. As far as focus for elementary, measurable outcomes, middle and high school, also using, the process product and progress in terms of separating those for a framework of supporting individual growth. District-wide priority, academic achievement, career exploration, K-12, and improving student attendance. Anything you would like to see added to academic, which will be the biggest priority? Goal area 1.
Quick question. Our goal for ACT is to reach the on-test state average. Is everybody dropping? Like, is this a COVID thing or is this a school thing?
It has been a COVID thing, but we dropped further than most.
But I mean, it's a trend that, because my concern is when they gave us the ESSER money, is like, what is our long term? Because everything had to be spent.
Right.
It's like, what do they even talk about recovery?
No.
Because we're still seeing the damages. And I was just wondering if other schools still are too, because it seems to be a trend.
Yeah, the state averages, I think, are back, getting back up there. I mean, but again, it's hard because we don't have the mass testing, and I don't know I just know I don't know what the ACT score is for the state average. What the average for the state is. I think it's higher than 19, but I just know.
Just did a quick bit of research. Montana average is 19.5 and national is 20.6.
So 19 is a great goal. If the state average 19.5, yeah, that's a great. I knew we were close. I didn't know. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Marchand. Yeah, I figured it was a little higher than 19, but it's right in that range. Has been traditionally for us. We've dropped. We continue to drop, which is concerning. I mean, we look at the schedule. I know has changed this year. Hopefully that'll help. That's kind of why we went away from the block, years ago. Was academic achievement, and hopefully this new schedule will help with that. But it's a holistic. This is K-12. This is a K-12 effort. It's not any one school, one teacher, one. It's systematic K-12. So
Yeah, no, that graph, I don't even have to look at the axis to say that doesn't look good. It's just, I'm hoping we can really focus on that. It's a tough one.
yes.
And I think improving it by 10% is going to be ambitious, really. That's just a big jump for anything, But yeah.
And I think the 10% jump was for the mass.
Oh,
Yeah.
wasn't sure if that was-
Yeah, the mass is an increase of 10% on all those standards that we have K-8 for academic achievement. And the ACT, we just want to start climbing back up to the 19. It's not going to happen in 1 year, but I'd like to stop the bleeding and start moving back.
And every kid takes it, right? The
Yes.
ACT, yeah. And that may not be true, Jeff, with every school, right?
Right.
Um,
No, and I was just kind of
So,
generic,
I mean,
like where.
yeah.
If
But
is
yeah,
it a-
rough
is it a
idea is-
national trend or?
Yeah, no, rough idea is the 19.5. And I know, what does I have to say this? I coach to it when I taught, I mean, if you want kids to do well on it, I hate to say that, but you need to kind of coach to the test.
Yeah.
Which is you know, if Wiggins was here right now, he'd smack me. But, if you want him to do well, you gotta,
Teach to the test. There's nothing wrong with saying it.
yeah.
Anything change, add, delete? Everybody okay with academic achievement?
Yeah. On 6, we're developing a plan to expand offerings in the performing arts. Is that under the things?
Performing arts, yes, that's been a 5-year plan for drama, speech, and debate.
Is there a group getting together for that, or how are we planning for that?
No, I think the last person that took a run at it was you. So,
I wouldn't call that a run. Yeah,
The closest.
it's a bigger task than.
the money is of it. I mean, we've made money available. We just need student interest. And as you know, when, there is a teacher interested, Miss Toller is interested in leading speech and debate next year. So if we can find, I said, we need to find students, just like the drama. We need students, and if we can find enough students for speech and debate, we will support it. If there's enough students for drama, we will support it. So it's still a goal, and we'll still do it. We just need the numbers. I think we have teachers. We have a couple teachers now with backgrounds in drama that we just hired, and Miss Toller is definitely interested in speech and debate.
Yeah, I think my first meeting had 15 kids, and the second meeting had 3. And there's just so much going on, competing against every other activity, and then the other thing with it, it really needs a space, it's any other activity, and which means scheduling around it, the all-purpose room or the gym or something. It's just difficult.
Anything else? Okay, moving on, leadership, staff attendance, leave without, we'll go over this during the district data day on Friday. You're all welcome to attend district data day. That'll be Friday morning. We have training tomorrow going on. We got curriculum alignment on Thursday. IA is tomorrow with Montana PLC. IA training for all teachers. And then Friday we'll be going through this with teachers, but leave without pay will no longer be approved. On behalf of the leadership team, we'll be going through that on Friday with everyone. Monthly progress monitoring systems, MTSS will continue our development with an evaluation of that. Title I grant, we've been cut. Title I funds have been cut, but we will continue to, our PSI and MTSS goals will continue. We'll continue to evaluate ourselves on the BOQ. Graduation exit survey will continue. Assessment framework implementation, introduction to leadership and support, presence in the class, instructional leadership and support in the classroom, being in classrooms as much as possible, administrative responsibility, to cultivate hope and a belief that every student can learn. Weekly administrative team meetings, that's on me. Data-driven decision-making, using data to drive our systems, both in efficiency, effectiveness, focus, everything that we do. But that's the leadership goals that we have. Is there anything you'd like to see added to leadership goals on behalf of the district?
Well, I think I like number 1. I think it speaks to accountability, which I think is a good thing across the board. When you say staff, you're talking about all employees.
Everybody.
Yeah. And that the problem is, of course, in practice, it's a little tougher, right? I mean, is the Family Medical Leave Act a problem?
Yeah. Yeah, that FMLA is not a side, and we're going to speak to that on Friday. But yeah, FMLA would not count. I mean, in terms of leave without pay, because that's a law. We can't say
Right.
you're given a right that you can, we're not. Yeah, FMLA is protected.
So if I'm a teacher or an employee, I'm out of leave and I get on Red Rover in the morning and take a day.
Mhm.
What happens after that?
If you're on leave, if you take leave without pay,
I don't have any leave, but I wake up and can't go to work.
mhm. Yeah, then you would have to have a day with leave without pay.
Right.
It's not approved by the administration, and we'll follow up with a letter of, probably a letter of warning to start out with, and a letter of reprimand after that, up to termination of not fulfilling breach of contract.
So like 3 strikes and I'm out, or?
More than likely, yeah, after you've used your 11, and if you've worked, right now, most people that have been here a few years should have 900. I mean, if you've been here 20 years, 25 years, you should have half the year that you could take. But basically, they're contracted for 47% of the year work days. That's an expectation I think we need to uphold.
Yeah, absolutely. Accountability is, big one. And, the other thing I want to stress with folks is the duty day, which is sort of related to that, being here when it starts and leaving when it's over. But anyway, I'm curious. It's a good thing. I just think it's going to be tough to, or not tough necessarily. But. And then the other thing I would like to see, and I don't know if it goes here or not, but do we have an administrative handbook? Like there's teachers, middle school, high school, elementary,
No.
paras. How would a new administrator know what
Their duties.
yeah.
The first day of school, you roll in and you go, if I were a principal, what would I be doing today? And within
Well,
about
I
10
know.
minutes, it hits you and away you go. But no, there isn't a handbook. I mean, I'm not aware of a administrative handbook.
It just seems that everybody has one, except we assume that administrators would know exactly what they're going to do. And
A lot of districts have an employee handbook, which administrators would fall under. We have staff handbooks, and ours are kind of separate from the different schools. But a lot of districts just have one handbook for administrators, for all teachers, all administrators. A district-wide handbook. We've always just used our staff handbooks because it's so much different from middle school, high school, elementary, that we've separated ours. But a district staff handbook is not unheard of.
So let's say, I'm going to pick on Mr. Huckleck here. Let's say the district clerk needed to find out what his duty day was. You would go to the
I believe mine's in
Paraprofessional?
policy, yeah.
You would go to the paraprofessional.
No, I believe I would well, when I did have to do this, I started researching policy for mine personally. But as far as if a principal, I'm not sure where they would find that. So,
They have individual contracts, so everybody has, I have my own contract,
Right.
principals there have their own contract. So all those are spelled out in their contract. Yeah, most
The
have,
duty day and
Yeah.
the
well, duty days.
dress code and all that stuff.
No.
Take leave and- Well, I mean, that's in.
Because that's more, you gotta go more to statute and BIA. You gotta talk to BIA in terms of what a duty day for an administrator is, and that's much less than what a duty day for others are, which I believe is 30 minutes for a duty day. We wouldn't get along doing 30 minutes very long, but yeah, that's considered a duty day at minimum. And at the last law conference I went to, she said, you could, 30 minutes is the minimum, 3 hours is probably the average. I mean, there really isn't a set hour for days for administrators. You'd have to negotiate that individually into a contract if you wanted to.
What if I was the maintenance director, the new maintenance director? Where would I find that information about me? Is he giving him something that gives him a?
It's in his
Duty
contract. His duty day would be, his is probably a little more flexible, but that would be with me. His duty day is going to be some days at 5, some days at 6, some days at 7. They're really dependent upon what's going on time of year.
And he would know what he has for leave and all of that. That's okay.
Yeah, those are all state statutes in terms of, and most of that could be looked up for state statute for employees, depending on the position. But since they all are under contract, that would all be, for maintenance, kitchen. Those are all set hours through the superintendent.
Right.
One quick question on the administration in the classroom presence. Is that something that they can just go into classrooms anytime?
Mhm.
Okay.
We used to have walk-through programs.
I do.
Yeah,
I walk through the classrooms. I have like a little air table. That's all I know it's called. Just set up for me. And I type in what they're doing, marks and stuff. Send it, copy to them, copy to me.
Are you limited to how many times you can go into a classroom? I mean, I'm just asking as from both sides of the table, is there a certain amount of times you can only go into a classroom?
I mean, I don't like to interrupt instruction.
Right, but I mean, you can just pop in at any time, any given day.
Yeah, I try to do it appropriately though.
Right.
I'm not trying to spy on anybody or anything.
Right. I just didn't know if you were limited. That's all I was pretty much asking what.
I don't think so.
No.
I always hope not.
Yeah. I wouldn't think so, but yeah. Okay. That's all I want to thank you.
My door was always open and administrative intrusions are the least of my problems.
All right.
And so it was just a constant. It didn't bother me when it happened. I was getting observed one time and I had this kid, this was years ago, who was just, he's told me before that, what if I acted up and I principal? I said, go ahead and do it. Find out. So the principal comes in, he starts fiddling around. I'm thinking, right in this kid's neck when he's trying to tell me my zipper was down, the fly was open. The whole principal knew his fly was open.
Nice.
Yeah, sweet, wasn't it? Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Anybody else? Get some ground covered. I think we're good there.
Okay, facilities, classrooms. I mean, facilities now is just maintenance. In terms of we get a new roof on the middle school, that's going to be about $300,000 next year. 250 to 300 is estimated. Some of the things that are just regular maintenance of the roofs. Long term, looking ahead. Things that we'd like to, teacher housing, that's a big hot topic across the state of Montana right now. Affordable housing for teachers and staff and paras. Preventative maintenance plan really is the stage we're in now. Just keeping up with the facilities in terms of regular maintenance. And Alan's doing a great job of keeping things, moving along. We'll get back on track with the elementary cabinets next year. And middle school roof, that'll be the big one for next year. But other than big audacious buildings, we're done. As far as the short term right now. But definitely if we can find grants for auditoriums, track, teacher housing, things of that nature, we definitely will keep looking for those. But maintaining and keeping what we have. Nice. Anything added for facilities that you'd like to see?
Just mention as an aside, probably pretty close to a quarterly date again, pretty soon.
The walkthroughs, yeah.
Um,
We'll get, we'll do an end of the summer walkthrough here. Winding up a few projects. We got fence posts here. I gotta get a hold of Coughlin, see if he can pound those posts for us. There's 31 posts that we're gonna replace for fence. We have the posts, we just need to get them pounded. So,
Around the field.
yeah. Around the track and then around the south, and then the north fence and around that corner. There's quite a few that are going down over there. So all the fence along the east side was replaced this summer.
I think before school starts, the weed issue needs to be addressed.
The weeds. Out in the elementary, I noticed the elementary playground was terrible.
At the high school gym. Front
Everywhere.
office.
Yeah, the front of the elementary also.
Maybe we could get some goats.
Okay. All right, we'll get on the weeds. We good? Facilities, anything else? Community communications. I think we're doing a great job with the website. Principals do a great job communicating and getting the word out about the great things that are going on. Tribal consultation, collaboration, we'll continue with that. Continue with our MTSS, and we have our BOQ. We improved everything across the board there in terms of our MTSS goals, in terms of collaboration with community. Web presence, like I said, going well. Maintain a professional and welcoming administrative office and environment. I think that was an area of concern we added last year. I kept that in there again this year. Continue to work on that. So anything under community or communications?
One quick question, Mr. Nesper, under communications, the Google Calendar for the class schedule, is that open to anybody? Or is that gonna be live for people, or is that a special?
That is, right now, it's just open to anybody that has the link. I haven't posted that link anywhere.
Right, I guess that's my question, will it be?
Sure, yeah, we put that on the website. We can add it to tag it on the district calendar. We can, there are lots of ways to
Okay.
get that out there.
Something we talked about, I just didn't know if it was open to the public, so.
That calendar, are you talking about the one that Shannon had?
Yeah,
That I built, Shannon and I have been talking about how best to do that on the calendar. So that was just out of my box, just the other make it work.
right,
I said it to her, but if that looks good for everybody, we can put on the website, we can put on the website events page, you can, as long as you
I stopped in and chatted with the Logan Health folks. It was the day before I saw you, Jeff. You were looking for what they do, athletic
physicals.
physicals. So I talked to her the day before that, and it sounds like business has been slow. Of course, that may just be the summer. I don't know about. I'm wondering if we can make more of a community, or let their presence be known more than they are, because it seems like athletic physical is a pretty convenient, good deal for folks. And I would think that place would be swamped. I'm just wondering how many people know it's even there.
Yeah, I think once school starts, that'll help too.
It will help.
Kind of came in right at the end of school.
Yeah.
I personally put it up on the website, Facebook.
Yeah.
3-4 times. So I know it wasn't a lack of, advertising, but a big problem was starting in summer without, we kind of waited for 2 years on them, and then, it was a late start for, which we knew, we kind of expected, but I'm hoping it'll get better. But I will definitely keep posting it up on Facebook and our website.
Yeah, that's really what we seem to do well. They gave me a break-even number that they needed to see here. It was like 5 people a day where they make it. But anyway, yeah, I'm sure that'll pick up in school starts.
Oh, yes, it's a great thing, and they're great people, so. All right, goal area 5, student-centered positive school climate and culture. This has been a systems leader school for, a number of years. One of the best in the state, I think, with our PSI evaluations. We'll continue to focus here. We can always make improvements to our BOQ and MTSS goals. But that will continue to foster a safe, a student-centered environment. The benchmarks that we've used is the PSI self-evaluation and the BOQ scores. We've grown in every, the middle school, high school grew from 67 first year, 79 this last year, and our goal is 84. Elementary set some very honest and forthright goals for their PSI. Their BOQ scores went up from a 65 to an 81 this year, and a goal of 86. Everybody's making improvements in terms of the BOQ and the MTSS foundations. We wish we had MBI still here, but student voice, reporting to the board, we'll continue with that. I think we do a good job with our parent surveys, our student surveys. The one goal that I did add was, to get a better staff survey. We need to do a better job of getting feedback from our teachers and our paras, but that'll be a goal for this year, to add some additional some sort of feedback better from our staff. Like I said, students are covered, parents are covered. We just need to find a tool, probably, work with Jesse to build a Google tool that we can use for teacher input, teacher survey. We've done them in the past, but we can come up with something. So we need to add that. So that's goal area 5, student-centered positive school climate. We'll keep rocking there. Resources and accountability. We'll keep searching for grant opportunities. I think, we try to make a goal to pay for ourselves with as much money as we can bring into the district as possible. So we will see a decrease in Title I funding this year. We will see an increase in enrollment. I checked enrollment yesterday from, actually Jesse helped me look at last year. On the 18th, we had 360 students enrolled. Going into last year, we're currently at 481. So we're up 100 students in 1 year. So that's incredible. So I knew we were up. We had close to 30 students with the new program, Harmony, but I had 70 additional students. We're definitely increasing. I think if there's a momentum right now, it's definitely in favor of St. Ignatius School District in terms of some of the surrounding areas and recruitment of students. We just had 3 more from Dixon today that came in and wanted to sign up for Harmony, a 10th grader, an 8th grader, and a 5th grader. But so that's huge. I mean, if we can increase enrollment, that's a huge goal, and we'll continue to utilize every angle to increase enrollment. So facility investments are complete. Any major facilities, we're done with major facilities. Now we're looking for academic achievement, student growth, financial stability. I'll go on record again saying we're the healthiest district in the valley. I know it's tough to compete with Ronan. They get a ton of money, impact aid, but I think visiting with them and the amount of impact aid they have to use for salaries and things like that. I think we're as fiscally sound as any district in the valley, and I'll hang my hat on that. So, anything you'd like to add to the resources and accountability?
You're considering another charter school application?
Considering, yes.
Is there a deadline for that?
Yes. And I think it would probably be about the same time it was last year. I think it was like November. I can't remember. I know the fall I was busy filling that out, but I feel like the target's going to keep moving, and repeating what others have done, I think, is going to get tighter and tighter. But I need to visit with the people at the Board of Ed. There's a couple of contacts that I have that I need to reach out to and just say, you know, if we do what others have done, are you going to move the target again? So it's harder for those of us that are repeating what others have been approved for. Because that was very frustrating to hear that, well, that's not a charter school, when clearly a year ago it was. So if they're going to keep moving it, because we knew it was a money grab from the beginning. I mean, I had a hard time convincing myself that it was legit, but it was approved for others, so we went for it. And so to answer your question, I'm 50-50 right now on whether we put the effort into applying for that. And I need a little more, I guess, motivation for what will be an acceptable charter. We don't have the numbers that Ronan's have. You know, our alternative program and our Harmony program, the way that it's growing, we will soon be there in at least one of the schools, but we're not there yet solely on that. We'd have to go something more career pathway oriented in the high school. And again, doing what we're beyond what we're already doing, it's somewhat of a, I don't know. I'll to answer. Let me do some more research.
Yeah, no,
I'm very wishy-washy on that one. And
no, I can understand it. And then my other question is on number 3, AC High School STEAM Lab.
yes, in here, the room right next door needs a AC.
That's no ventilation.
No ventilation, yeah. Right next door. So that we've put them into, they're about $5,000. And with the freezer, we were looking at about $35,000 to get the freezer this summer. I mean, we're still working on that. We've got to fix a freezer, and it just got pushed down, because we were originally looking at $35,000 to fix the freezers in the elementary. We had 3 bids, 50, 35, and 20. So all for the same job. So I think we're going to go with the 22 and get it done, but it was an unexpected expense that, Alan really went after getting a lot of things fixed that had been, needed. Yeah, totally. But we've actually spent quite a bit of money this summer on facilities.
But this would be a next summer thing.
I want to do it as soon as possible. I've been kind of waiting on the whole freezer project just to see where that ends up, but it won't be too long, and we won't need, as much. But we do need some sort of AC in there. Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
The rest of it's just systems of success, things that we do, and I was able to run this all through, clean it up, in terms of formatting, and I AI'd it, so it looks good, looks better than it has in the past. So, okay.
I have a couple of. Is there an IEFA staff handbook?
A what?
On
Indian Ed for All.
Indian Ed for All. Staff?
No, we don't have that. The person that did the data last year is not interested in doing that, and it was an expense that we can save money on. I'll do it myself this year.
So there is no handbook.
Oh, Indian Ed for All handbook? Yeah, there's a handbook.
Oh, there.
Oh, yeah.
Is that something that we produce, or is CSKP do that, or?
Actually, Tony's dad and myself built that. Yeah. I can email it to you.
Sure.
You've seen it. I mean,
I'm
it's
sure
the
I have.
same one that we've used, you know, with the 3 standards and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably-
You've probably seen it every year for a while, but I'll send it to you.
And just going through real quick, do we have a PTO? Is that an active thing going
No, we keep it in there, but we do not, there's not an active PTO. About every 5 years, it flares up. And they've had a hard time. It depends on the person, like anything else, but
on?
currently there's not an active PTO or PTA. Yeah.
Are we pursuing the community breakfast again, or? I know we did it, I think we did a little while
Once
back.
last
We did it once last year, yeah.
Is that something we're gonna do once a quarter?
It wasn't well attended last year, but if you guys tell me you want it, I'll do it.
Something we can talk about.
And do we still have a senior FAFSA night? Is that still happening?
A what?
Senior FAFSA night?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna say, yep, there'll be a college information night, FAFSA night, creating IDs, there's a whole bunch of stuff, all before October 6th.
Before when?
October 6th, or October 1st is when it opens, so between the first day of school and then there's a whole bunch of stuff.
And we haven't heard any bad news about FAFSA or anything like that?
Not, I mean,
As far
it
as
depends
Europe,
on where your
As far as
income is, if it's good or bad.
Right, but I mean,
As far as I know, all the test pilots and stuff have gone well. I haven't really seen much of anything from anybody besides, yep, it'll be open, let's go, let's be ready.
it's good news.
I have one question. Maybe, do we still have a link program?
We do not.
I hadn't heard anything, so I didn't know. Because I know there was kind of a lack of participation in that too, so.
Yeah, I think it's, one of the things where it's, okay, who spread how thin
Yeah.
and what are we getting from where and, okay.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clarify.
So we'll delete that one.
Well,
Delete
I
link.
mean, it could be on our goals. I mean, I think it's a good thing. I just don't think we have it.
Actually.
I'll get into it because I've got to steal your thing, but we've
What
got
you're gonna
it.
do.
We've got
Okay,
it.
we did an action item to approve the annual goals with a few additions.
I made a motion to recommend the approval of the district goals with a couple of additions for 2025 to 2026.
I'll second that.
Okay, we move to second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Results, trying to figure this out.
Showed him.
Okay, good, because I can't. All right, that means we're adjourned at
6:44.
44.
You wanna grab something to eat? We'll move on to budget hearing.
yeah, and I'll set this one up real quickly. And then do that one from there.
Say,